photos of guns, and this inventory list of her husband's firearms collection.
I was aware of at least 36 firearms in his possession.
But in court, it still wasn't enough to convince a judge that her allegedly abusive ex-husband had not turned all his guns over to police.
He's sending me text messages telling me how he's going to kill me, what he's going to do with my body. Firearms were the biggest threat. They were readily available.
Cassie and her lawyer Bill Braun, who volunteered his services, tried for months to convince the King County Court to enforce the part of a domestic violence protection order that requires her ex-husband to surrender all firearms to police.
He has threatened to kill my client repeatedly.
Now, a groundbreaking ruling from the appeals court. It ruled that Cassie's ex did not provide convincing evidence that he turned over all his guns. More importantly, it determined the restrained person, the person served with the protection order, has the burden to prove that they've surrendered all their firearms to police. It's an important shift for victims like Cassie, who had to prove that her ex had not turned over his guns. The burden rested on her and her lawyer.
I can't prove those things, but now that responsibility has been shifted from me to the abuser.
Last year, the King 5 investigators revealed that nearly half of the accused abusers served ignored their weapons surrender orders. A new Seattle King County Firearms Enforcement Unit now targets abusers who may be hiding their guns. The new court ruling will make that unit more effective, says Seattle City Attorney Pete Holmes.
This ruling makes it very clear that it's the party, typically a male in a domestic violence situation, who has been ordered to surrender weapons. That person must prove that they have surrendered all their weapons. It's not the woman, not the victim, who has to prove that he still has guns.
Cassie's ruling could pave the way for other victims staring down the barrel of a gun.
I think that makes a landmark change for all survivors.
In King County alone, there are about 1,000 weapons surrender orders issued each year, and these are civil cases where these protection orders are granted. So unlike Cassie, most of these victims don't have a lawyer, and proving that their abuser had a gun is very intimidating. This court order could help lift that burden off the shoulders of thousands of victims in our state each year who seek protection from the courts. I'm Chris Ingalls in the King 5 newsroom.